like a bunch of lovesick bullcalves. You're so sweet on those girls, why don't you do something about it? Why don't you go down there and marry them?
Well, sure, go marry him, just as easy as that.
They wouldn't let us marry him, not in 1,000 years.
Then why don't you do like those Romans did with the Sobbin Women? Sabine women, whatever you call them. They're in the same fix that you're in. They was opening up new territory, women are scarce. What did? They went down into the town and they picked them up and they carried them off. You can't do it as good as a bunch of old Romans did. You guys aren't any brothers of mine. Of course, this being Oregon and God-fearing territory, you're gonna have to capture a parson along with them.
Hey, them Romans, they the ones I heard about settled up north of here?
No, this is in the olden days. Read about here in Millie's book.
Oh, book.
Well, this is history. It really happened.
Tell you about them Sobbin women who lived in the Roman days. It seems they all went swimming while their men was off to graze. Well, a Roman troop was riding by and saw them in their me oh my. So they took 'em all back home to dry, at least that's what Plutarch says. Oh yes, them women was sobbing, 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 fit to be tied. Every muscle was throbbing, throbbing from that riotous ride. Seems they cried and kissed and kissed and cried all over that Roman countryside. So don't forget that when you're taking a ride, sobbing fit to be tied from that riotous ride.
So then what happened?
Gather round, I'll tell you. They never did return their plunder. The victor gets all the loot. They carry them home by thunder to Rotunda, small but cute. And you've never seen, so they tell me, such downright domesticity, with a Roman baby on each knee named Claudius and Brute.
Oh yes, them women was sobbing, sobbing, sobbing,
Passing them nights while the Romans were going out, hobnobbing, starting a fight.
That's so.
They kept occupied by sewing lots of little old togas for them tots and saying, someday women folks will have rights.
passing all of their nights
Just sewing.
while the Romans had fights.
Hey, listen to this. Now when the menfolk went to fetch 'em, the women would not be fetched.
It seems when the Romans catch 'em, their lady friends stayed catch.
Right, now let this be, because it's true, a lesson to the likes of you. Wrap 'em up like them their Romans do, or else they'll think you're tetched.
Oh yes, them the women was sobbing, sobbing, sobbing buckets of tears.
Mighty sad.
On account of old Dobbin, Dobbin really rattled their ears.
And that ain't all. Oh, they acted angry and annoyed.
But secretly they was overjoyed.
You might recall that when corralling your steers.
Oh, the poor little dear.
What are you standing there for? Why don't you go down and get them?
Oh yes, them women was sobbing, sobbing,
Oh
sobbing.
yes, them sobbing
Just remember
women.
what Robin,
Oh
Robin, Robin Hood would have
yes,
done.
them sobbing
Women
women.
be just like
Oh
their men,
yes,
make them
them
all
sobbing
happy once
women.
again.
And though there'll be a sobbing for a while,
Oh yes,
we're gonna make them sobbing women.